It seems sacrilegious to ad-lib and improvise a J.K. Rowling story, but books are rigid pieces of art where the author controls all the moving pieces. Whereas on film, the moving pieces are actors, and the real people of Hogwarts can be unpredictable, irrational, and outright hilarious. Here are 15 spontaneous moments and behind-the-scenes anecdotes in the Harry Potter franchise that you would never guess were nowhere to be found in the script. It's hard to know how to react to unexpectedly meeting a celebrity. You overreact and start acting beside yourself, and then they start acting unlike themselves. The production team wanted to capture that. Meeting wizard prodigy Harry Potter would be a huge deal for the then Magic fangirl Hermione. And director Chris Columbus told actress Emma Watson to just say whatever popped into her head when she realized who she was talking to. The result of her saying,
"Holy cricket, you're Harry Potter!"
was adorable and nowhere on the daily pages of the flick. And as Rick Blaine of Casablanca would say,
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
The slow clap is an old-school Hollywood trope that has its appeal. It's been used, abused, and even parodied. When to join in on a slow clap is an art form in and of itself. And at the end of the Chamber of Secrets, only Dumbledore was supposed to clap. This inspired Minerva, which encouraged Harry, which emboldened Ron, Hermione, and all the rest of the students and faculty to create an impromptu, unscripted moment in wizard movie history. Even Crabbe almost got swept away in the moment, but the Malfoy boy wasn't having it, as his crew must not show support for the cause. This made for another brilliant, unscripted moment when he pulled his henchmen down. We're grateful that this moment made the final cut. Referring to someone as an inanimate object is in the upper echelon of British insults, as the character Harry showed us in this scene from In Bruges.
You're an inanimate object!
So when that happens, get ready for a major response. When Harry and Cho's first kiss was so productive it made the ceiling plants grow in the Order of the Phoenix, it merited a round-table discussion with Ron Weasley and Hermione. When Hermione tells Ron that he doesn't understand the depth of women's feelings because he has
the emotional range of a teaspoon,
their priceless reaction of breaking into laughter was so unexpected and in the moment that the editors decided to keep that in the final cut. Some performers let the costume and hair do the acting for them. Jason Isaacs is a student of that school and chose to clothe his version of Lucius Malfoy, which varied significantly from the novels. The long, blonde, world wrestling entertainment hair, the long, black, elaborate Dracula-esque outfits, and that iconic cane that allows his wand to extend that would make the Penguin proud were all his choice. And now we can't see the character any other way. We see the scale of the cruelty of the Malfoys when Beatrix takes on Hermione's violent interrogation as part of a personal project. Director David Watson decided to let Emma Watson and Helena Bonham Carter do the screenwriter's job on the fly with this scene, as the film crew just let the cameras roll on the thespians and let the characters do the scene. All those acting classes and preparation paid off, as the result was a sequence whose intensity surpassed that of the novel, when Hermione's chilling screams and visceral reactions making audiences everywhere afraid to look at the screen while simultaneously being terrified to turn away. It's important to note that the writing of mudblood on Miss Granger's forearm wasn't in the novel, another one of Helena's signature additions to the story. In the Chamber of Secrets, actor Jason Isaacs must have been mighty proud of himself when the seasoned performer tried to put the Potter boy in his place as character just before his scripted exit. When Lucius Malfoy ad-libbed the line,
"Let us hope that Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day,"
it seemed as though he clearly won the scene, until we saw that on Harry's close-up, Daniel Radcliffe surprisingly clapped back at him with the line,
"Don't worry, I will be,"
showing he could hold his own and would not be pushed around by no improv. Who would thought an actor so young would be such a last-word freak? But hey, if the scene works, the scene works. Poor Dobby got squib-kicked for Lucius's frustration for not finishing the aforementioned scene with the upper hand. Little did we know that the kick was improvised to the thin air, might we add, as Dobby was animated in later. Jason Isaacs had to explain his choice to director Chris Columbus, who actually thought he tripped. Bellatrix is a wild one. Who knows what she's going to do next? That's why when she put her wand in Neville's ear in The Order of the Phoenix, director David Yates thought, oh, that's just Bella being Bella, not realizing that it was a total accident. A happy accident, as it made for a memorable moment in the ever-long Miss Lestrange highlight reel. About the moment, she told Entertainment Weekly, I did something terrible. By mistake, I poked him in his ear. I thought I could brandish the wand like some sort of Q-tip and clean out his ear, sort of torture it. But unfortunately, he moved toward the wand as I was prodding it, and it actually perforated his eardrum. Isn't that horrific? I damaged him. He's such a nice young man, he didn't admit to me that he actually had some internal bleeding about 3 days later. She needs a prequel or a spin-off or something. Maybe her and her clan could get a dark and gritty HBO series. The Malfoys. Dobby looked so happy at the end of Chamber of Secrets when he was able to emancipate himself from his cruel, platinum-haired master. We can all agree that a life serving a Malfoy ain't an easy one. Jason Isaacs must love his job, as he not only learned his lines and accent for the movie, but the names of the spells as well. He was told by director Chris Columbus to say whatever spell came to mind to get back at Harry for his role in Dobby's freedom. And he went all the way dark in casting the Killing Curse when he yelled, This is one of the 3 unforgivable curses and a staple of the dark arts. Couldn't he just have cast a punching in the face spell? Good thing Dobby was there to do a force push on Lucius, saving the Potter boy from the most infamous spell in the known Wizardverse. Being in a petrified state, as Hermione was, can scare you into putting things into perspective. When you snap out of it, what matters seems so clear. Where to go, what to do, who you love. But once you know, it's both confusing and exciting when you see that someone you love again. And it's especially strange when you didn't realize you loved them all along until just this moment. You don't know what to do. Simple words flee you. Who you thought you were is gone, and what's replaced is the silence you don't know what to do with, but are so glad it's there. That's the deal with Hermione and Ron's post-Harry hug moment in the Chamber of Secrets. She looks at Ron and almost hugs him, but doesn't. When neither of them know what to do, but they both know they want to touch, she extends her hand and gives the Beasley boy a shake to remember. Actress Emma Watson came up with that all on her own, adding to the Harry Potter mythology. Ah, young love. Actor Mark Williamson, who plays Ron's dad Arthur, knows the art of storytelling so well that he was given complete freedom in interrogating Harry on Muggles. As you probably know, wizards just don't get what Muggles are, but are perpetually infinitely curious as to what they do and who they are. Mr. Beasley went to town asking about Muggle artifacts, asking Daniel Radcliffe in the spur of the moment with 100 members of the Warner Brothers crew watching,
Tell me, what exactly is the function of a rubber duck?
Just saying that knowing it's nowhere in the script takes guts, and saying it with a straight face merits a standing ovation. It is a line burrowed in the Chamber of Secrets novel, though. In the Muggle world, it's used as a recreational bathtub toy. We guess wizard baths are more boring. The big climax of the last movie of one of the most successful franchises in the history of Tinseltown has an intimidating, rabble-rousing speech from Supreme Leader Voldemort about his power. To keep things fresh on the long day of shooting, actor Ralph Fiennes kept changing the dialogue to provoke different reactions and keep the spirit of the scene going. It's also a great way to keep the extras awake. The final product is a combination of about 12 different variations he gave that day. We surrender, O Lord Voldemort, to your acting prowess. Harry is a clever boy, but espionage and sneakery didn't come naturally to him. In the Chamber of Secrets, when he turns himself into Goyle, he forgets to remove his trademark specs. When Draco notices the facial inconsistency on his boy, Harry, as Goyle, explains that they are for reading. The blonde bad boy quips back,
Reading? I didn't know you could read.
Tom Felton improvised that line and was so spot on with it, he should consider a career in improv. Sure, it's not as glamorous as being a Hollywood movie star, but we think he'd be a great player. Miss Luna Lovegood, or Looney Lovegood as some of the Hogwarts students have referred to her as, lost her mother Pandora, leaving her father Xenophilius to raise her. At William Weasley and Fleur Delacour's wedding, her dance with her pappy was unique enough to rival that of the Joker's bathroom waltz. That's because actress Evanna Lynch had a clear vision of how Luna moves and dances and took it upon herself to choreograph her moves. This gave fans a book-accurate interpretation of that moment from the Deathly Hallows Part 1, while she got to have her fun while surrendering to the character and letting her do the dance. This is why people become actors, folks. Luna would fit right in at Woodstock. Actor Ralph Fiennes felt the spirit of Voldemort possess him fully and completely in the Deathly Hallows Part 2 when he had the Malfoy boy bring him in and greeted him with the most awkward hug in the history of the Harry Potter franchise. When you see someone who looks like Voldemort, the idea of touching is far down the list of things you want him to do to you. Actor Tom Felton, who plays Draco, says the moment took him by surprise, as it wasn't in the original screenplay and in the many takes they did of the scene. Ralph only hugged him one time. It's probably the most human we get to see Voldemort. What's your favorite Harry Potter improvised moment? Any we missed? Any moments in the franchise you suspect were improvised? Let us know in the comments below, and like and subscribe for more from The Binger. See you when we see ya!